Good Sunday morning. I don't usually put out a video on Sunday, but I wanted to share some of the things that I've learned up in Chico working with the Paradise people. It was it was very eye-opening. Reminded me of some of my military experiences to see how little so many people have, and and what I was working with was to help with stress, to help with the PTSD. And it was wonderful to see people who don't know what they're going to be doing. Hello, Michelina. Welcome. It was wonderful to see people. Hello, Maureen. It was wonderful to see people who have no house anymore, have none of their possessions, and are not sure what they're going to be doing, and to see their relief when I was able to help them to understand the chemicals that are involved when we're stressed, and that we're able to change that even in the direst of situations, and that when we are able to take a life without being stressed, without worrying about things that might happen, that or even, and that even went for these people who had nothing, and you could really worry. The biggest problem comes from what we're remembering and what we're thinking about with our trauma. So our thoughts, very literally, very physically, create our beliefs, which lead to our actions. Our actions are fulfillment. Welcome, Jim. Our actions are fulfillment of those thoughts, and therefore reinforce the thought. We can come to the point where we can control our thoughts. That's the power of it. We have power over our thoughts. And it may be a matter of changing a thought that comes in and something that we don't want. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome. It may be a matter of taking and changing a thought that's coming into our head that we don't want, and there are thoughts we don't want, because our thoughts are self-fulfilling blueprints which our mind and our body will seek after. So what we have comes from our thoughts, based on our thoughts. Hello, Smitty. Welcome. And so it's so important. And this is something that I had worked with a lot, but it got a lot more refined when I was up there working with these people. And I was in one of the chapels up there that had supplies, so people were coming in, and I just talked to them. I just sit and talk with somebody who looked like they just lost their home and everything, and was not dealing well. And I just asked them if they were sleeping okay, and that would lead into the conversation to be able to help them. And inevitably, everybody I worked with got a sleep that night, even though they had not been able to have one for quite a while. Hi, Sherry. So one of the big things that came to me after that trip. Hello, Cher. When you take a trip, let's say you go, and it was 3 hours for me. So when you take a trip, okay, it's 3 hours, but when you come back, my whole life, the trip back has seemed like it hasn't taken as long. But when I came back from Chico, it seemed like it was twice as long. It wasn't any longer of a trip, but it seemed like twice as long. And then when I woke up in the morning, I've gotten very good at being being at peace and being happy and being able to totally control what's in my mind. And when I woke up the next morning, and it was nice to be in a bed, when I woke up, I could tell I was stressed. And I'm like, what's going on? And I realized that in that environment around those people who were suffering, I was immersed in stress. And so I started to think, those people up there that are helping out and the people that have taken people into their homes. Hello, Greg. Those people that have taken people into their homes, they're immersed in stress. And I want to be able to help them a lot more. It's difficult economically, but I want to be able to help a lot more. And I realized, though, that we all get immersed in stress, and we don't have to live that way. Stress, it causes 70% of our disease. Those are medical numbers, and we don't need it. One of the main things I worked with people was teaching them mindfulness through guided meditations in recordings, and then just helping them understand that we can change our thoughts, which changes our beliefs and our actions, which will change our life. Concept goes, our beliefs create our thoughts create our beliefs. Our beliefs create our perspective or our paradigms. And those paradigms are those things that we believe so adamantly that we would get angry at somebody for disagreeing, or maybe even die for, that aren't even correct. They're not really the most true element, but we can come to believe they are. Hello, Janice. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. So, Janice, we should talk afterwards so I can help you out with the grieving. Our perspective and hello, Kelly, our perspective and becomes our paradigm, our reality. Change our thoughts, change our reality. And so I'm going to be working with that a lot more to help people be able to change from the negatives of stress, the negative things that happen to us in stress, to positive outlooks and perspectives. The basis of all of our issues come down to self-confidence and self-esteem. And that's what we want to rebuild and have solid foundations. And so I saw some of the things. If anybody's wanting to help out with those people up there, contact me, through messages and or on this, and I can let you know what they're actually needing, the people that I was working. What's a paradigm? Kelly says. Okay, so a paradigm is a belief, a thought that we have run over in our minds so many times and with such vividness that it becomes a belief. That belief becomes our reality, and that reality, which many times is not totally correct, is a paradigm. So it's what we're believing, what's our reality. And each of our realities are unique. And we all want to come to the point, or everybody who wants to, I would love to help, and there's help out there to be able to have self-confidence, self-esteem, feel safe, and even in the trials and turbulations of life, being able to be at a place where you can make the most of the situation. I just had to share that this morning, and thank you for being on. If you catch this later on, feel free to make comments or ask for me to get in touch with you, and put replay if you're watching it later. Take care. Have a super day. A day without pain, including emotional, is a good day.